America on this Friday. Karen Stanford, the mother of Reverend Jesse Jackson's 2-year-old daughter, is breaking her silence about her 4-year affair with the civil rights leader in an interview with ABC's Connie Chung. Stanford said that Reverend Jackson has only seen the child once in the last 7 months, but that she doesn't regret having an out-of-wedlock child with Jackson. Will Stanford's revelations help or hurt Jesse Jackson's image? Joining us from Washington, syndicated columnist Armstrong Williams, and from Denver, columnist Mario Giardiello is with us. Welcome aboard, Mario.
Yes.
Hasn't seen his own daughter. 7 months. Is that what he teaches from the pulpit? Is that Reverend Jackson's definition of family values?
You know, before all this media hype, he was seeing the child regularly. She was happy. He was happy. Now, for political reasons, he's taken a step back. And again, like he says, he's preserving the child's dignity and privacy.
Why didn't he see her in 7 months?
I'm sure when this is all over, he's going to go back and be a wonderful father.
We don't need any of that. Why hasn't he seen this girl but once in 7 months?
He was seeing her regularly, and she is happy with that.
Yeah, she's, well, you think the daughter's happy with that?
He'll go back to seeing the daughter regularly as soon as this is all over.
Listen to what you're saying here. You don't believe that.
I do believe it, and Jesse Jackson believes it.
You know, one other problem I had with this revelation that we've gotten here the last couple of days, you know, here's Reverend Jackson. He's made a good living for a lot of years, making a lot of money when he was on the Clinton News Network.
He's done a lot of good for the American people.
He was, you know, and here she had to take him to court to get $48,000 a year. This is a woman.
She did not have to take
She
him to
had
court.
to take him.
It was a formality.
Yes, she did.
Because the press broke the story. She was happy with what was going on between the two of them, and she did it as a formality.
Yeah. Do you think he's a hypocrite?
I do not think he's a hypocrite. In fact, I think the Republican Party is a hypocrite. This is a party that says less government, but they're the first ones coming into our bedrooms and telling us what we can do with our bodies.
Mario, by definition,
stay out of our bedrooms.
He's counseling Bill Clinton on not to be involved in these things, and he's in the middle of one. That, by definition, is hypocrisy.
You know,
he's from
who are we to judge?
Preaching.
Again, who are we to judge?
Not judging. Hypocrite is a hypocrite.
What if the camera followed you around and checked you out every time you went behind doors?
I don't want to sound like Gary Hart, but they'd be very bored.
He's a great politician, and he's done great for the American people, and that's what we should focus on. This is a ploy of the Republican Party to change the focus off the issues, which currently Bush is ruining our economy, and now we're focusing on something totally irrelevant.
I'm glad to see my good. Now back to the debate. Mario, I was interested in some of the points you made about Reverend Jackson and his leadership and advocacy on the part of many Americans on many different policy fronts. Has he been hurt by this?
Yeah, his reputation has definitely been hurt. But I think we have to look at Jesse Jackson and the things he's done in the past and separate that from the man. Let God be the judge and his own conscience. And, you know, I'm just tired of these politicians taking this moral high ground whenever it serves their purposes. This nation has seen plenty of Uncle Toms, but it's rare for a courageous man like Jesse Jackson to defend the disadvantaged and people without voice. And we should value that in him.
You know, Armstrong, one of the things that happened during the presidential campaign, we learned some things about President Bush's past, and there were many of us in my party in particular who suggested that we leave all of those things in the past and allow him to continue. And obviously throughout the race, I didn't vote for him. That had nothing to do with it. It was really his position on many of the issues. Can Reverend Jackson still be an effective voice when it comes to talking about issues like education and the environment and health care and civil rights? Or does this push him off the scene altogether in your mind?
Oh, it will never push him off the scene. His voice certainly will become less effective. You know, and it's not about the contributions that Jesse Jackson has made. No one can deny that he's built many bridges along with others for many people like you and myself and others to cross. No one can deny that. But you cannot compartmentalize Reverend Jackson. Reverend Jackson knows the consequences of his behavior. The rumor mills have been rampant about him and his extramarital affairs. I mean, we're not talking about some 35 or 36-year-old man. We're talking about a man who's pushing 60. I mean, this man should be at the point where this kind of behavior is behind him, and so he cannot escape the seeds that he has sown. He just cannot. And no matter how much we try to spin it, he just cannot escape it, because this woman obviously is scorned. There are a lot of things that we don't realize, and she's running her mouth. And as long as she's running her mouth, as long as she's willing to be used by the media and everyone else, they will use her until they use her up.
Let me ask Mario, what did you mean by Uncle Tom, Mario?
Well, I just think that we need to start defending the voiceless. We need to start defending people
What
who
does
are
the word Uncle
disadvantaged.
Tom mean? You use that pejorative. What does it mean?
Well, I think it means that people who don't defend the disadvantaged and the voiceless, people who don't care about
You mean
their
African Americans that are conservative?
Well, no, not always. Not always.
Yeah, I think it's offensive language, and I wish you'd restrain yourself from using it, frankly.
You know,
because it's a pejorative that's used by the left. It's typical name-calling tactics, and I find them offensive. Let me ask you a question. You said Jesse Jackson's not a hypocrite in the last segment. Is he a bad role model?
That's not for me to decide. He's an excellent politician. Ex-President Clinton has already proven that you can cheat on your wife and be an exceptional president.
Is Bill Clinton a good role model for kids?
Bill Clinton was an exceptional politician.
Was he a good role model, Mario? Was he good?
He's a role model for me. He's a role model for me.
He's a role model for
me
you.
a lot.
All right. Well, that's the point.
And he was the great unifier.
Here's the problem
Bush,
you guys have on the left, and as I see it, because on numerous occasions so far on this program, you've blamed conservatives. Let me just straighten you out here, Mario. It's not.
Who are the liberals bashing Jesse Jackson?
Mario, hang on a second. Let me finish the point.
Okay.
It's not conservatives' fault when Bill Clinton and Gary Condon have affairs with interns, and it's not conservatives' faults when a reverend forgets about thou shalt not commit adultery and has a child out of wedlock. That is hypocrisy. That is a bad role model. And your problem on the left is you can't take a stand on a basic moral issue. That's your problem, because you're a party hack
you're doing it to change
under all circumstances.
What you're doing, though, to lose the focus of issues and put it on something that's irrelevant. What happened to Bob Livingston? Why didn't we make that more of an issue like this?
Real closely.
What happened to Newt Gingrich? We don't care about that stuff because we stick to the issues.
Mario, I'm not going to sell my soul for any party, which is the difference between me and you. Any man that cheats on his wife and has a child out of wedlock has done something morally wrong, and you don't have the courage to say that.
I think he's fessed up to it. I think he's taken responsibility. But do many of us feel he should just get out of political life? No way. He does too much good for too many Americans, and because he doesn't protect your lily white world, you think he should step down.
Yeah.
You didn't think Newt Gingrich should step down.
To both of my friends, thank you, Armstrong and Mario.
Thank you.
And coming up next, has the Bush administration